Hello friends. So today we are again live with a new topic in Python tutorial series. Okay. So today we are going to talk about NumPy and how to plot different kind of plots in Python using Matplotlib. So you have been it's a nice experience till now. Today is a sixth tutorial series, sixth lesson in this Python tutorial series. Okay. So finally, we provide or we do industrial projects and freelance projects. Apart from that, we also provide online training on different topics such as embedded system, Python, machine learning, control system, digital signal processing, etc. So if you have any such requirement or you need any kind of help in these topics, you can contact us through our website, which is www.jcbrolabs.org, or you can also mail us at info@jcbrolabs.org. So you can let us know by commenting in the live chat box from where you are watching this live session. Okay, so let's start with today's session, that is the NumPy. Okay, so NumPy, Matplotlib, and all those things create are provided by the SciPy. Okay, SciPy group. So SciPy group is a group which provides scientific computation modules for Python, so that different kind of scientific simulation can be performed within this Python. So they are trying to make everything on like open source. Okay, so the best competitor of this is like Matlab. So they are trying to provide the free version of the Matlab with the help of the Python. So the SciPy has several branches like NumPy, Matplotlib for plotting library, right? Apart from that, they also have, I think, Pandas is also the part of it, and several other modules they have provided. Okay, so today we are going to talk about in Python, NumPy in Python. So as I mentioned earlier in our earlier videos, there is a no concept of arrays in Python. There are only lists and then tuples or dictionaries in Python. But NumPy is a package through which you can create arrays. Okay. So with the help of this NumPy, we can create array, and that becomes very useful when we do different kind of scientific computation like plotting diode characteristic equation or plotting some other equations. Everything is done with the help of array. And apart from that, it also have several other mathematical tools or math function within it, and other signal processing function are also there within the NumPy. So all those functions can also be used with the help of NumPy, or there is another uh, toolbox provided by this iPad, that is signal processing toolbox. Okay. Okay. So let's go to the Python and then try to create an array with the help of this NumPy. Okay. Okay. So just hold on a minute. Okay. So if you have installed Python with the help of Anaconda, then all these libraries like NumPy, Matplotlib are default installed along with the Anaconda. But if you are trying to use different IDE, then you may have to install this NumPy and the Matplotlib, and that depends how you are going to install these packages. That varies from package to package. Okay, so generally pip install and then package name is the command which is used to install any specific library of the Python. Okay, now if you want to check whether the the NumPy library or any other library is installed on your system or not, you can type it like import NumPy as np. Okay, So if this particular command throws an error, then that indicates okay, numpy is not installed there. If this command doesn't throw any error, then it indicates okay, numpy is installed. So for example, in this case it didn't throw any error, so so it indicates like numpy is already installed. Now we can create a different kind of array with the help of numpy. So with the help of this command, we are importing this numpy package as a name of the np. So if we want to use any inbuilt function which are provided by this numpy package, then we have to use a acronym as a np. Okay, so it is better practice not to import everything from any package, because sometimes it creates confusion, and it becomes confusing when we try to outsource the code. That means if you are writing a code for someone else. Okay, so let's write. So we have to type np.array and then the list value. Okay, so let's say I type 10 comma 20 comma 30 comma 1 comma 5 3 5 and 9. Okay, so a is created with the help of the array. So if we see the type of a, then you will find it is a nd array type. Okay, so it is a array of integer 32. Okay, total size is 7. So let's say if I type np.size a, it gives 7. So len command is used. It is by default inbuilt from the python. That can also be used here. Apart from that, np.size command is provided by the numpy, which gives the same answer. Okay, and if we type np.shape and then a, then from this shape you can get whether it is a 1D or 2D. So right now it is a 1D, so we get only number of the columns here. Okay, so this is the case where how we can create an array. Now the next thing comes, like if we want to access any specific element of that array, then it access, like you can access this entire array like a list. So let's say a of 2, so you got 30. So remember the indexing starts from 0. So 0 1 2 3 4 5 and 6. So when I say the indexing, so indexing means the location of that array. Okay, so if you type 2, so 0 1 and 2, second location. Similarly, let's say if I type a of 4, then you can easily calculate what will be the answer. It will be 3. So there, let's say you want to access from 20 to 5, then you will simply type 1 2 up to 5. 5 is the length was 7, so up to 7. So the indexing goes from starting index to end index minus 1. Okay, so it will go from 1 to 6. So 0 1 2 3 4 5 6. It will go up to 9. Okay, so we got a part of an array because it is a subset of the entire array. Right, let's try this thing which I have not tried earlier as well. Yeah, you got 10. Okay, sorry, it should be 0 to 7 at a difference of 2. Okay, so now index will go from 0, then 2, so 0 and 2, then 5 and then 6. Right, so it in this case, if we type like this, index go from 0 to 7 at a difference of 2. Okay, so these are the various ways through which we can access different element of of this of this array. Now let's say we want to assign any specific value to the any element of the array. So if I type a of first equals to, let's say 100, so the first index of array a will become 100. So first index is this one, so it becomes 100, right? So a of 1 becomes 100. Similarly, you can change the range, let's say 1 to 4. Then if you simply type 1, it will throw an error. Okay, all these locations have become 1. But if you try to do the same in list, I think there was an error. So from 1 to 4, everything becomes 1. So it is pretty easy to reallocate or reassign certain values within the Python. Okay, so that was for the one dimensional array. We can also create multiple dimension of arrays as well within using this NumPy. So when I say ND array or multi-dimensional array, that means we can try to create a kind of matrix kind of structure where we have rows and then columns. Okay, so it is simply somewhat similar to the list. So we can type np.array, then first list, and then comma, then second list. Okay, similar to this. Okay, so let's try to do the same. Let's try to do the same. So b equals to np.array. So let's say 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 and then comma. So you should be this should be kept in mind, like all the number of elements should be same in both the rows. Okay, so now if we click on B, you get it is a kind of array. So each row which you have created, each value which you have, each list which you have separated by a comma, that becomes a row. Okay, now if we want to access any element, so let's say we want to access this element, so we can access this element by rows and columns. So it will be 1 comma 1. Okay, so if I type 1 comma 1 to 5, okay, that was okay. Let's try this. So we can type b of 0 and then row number 2. Okay, so it's pretty easy to access the multiple elements within the array. Even let's say we want to access all these elements of row 0, then I will write b of 0 and then column goes from 1 to at the end. Okay, so if we don't put any end index, it will go up to the end of the array. Okay, so 2 3 4 has been accessed. Okay, similar way we can also assign two values. Let's say if I type 10 there. Okay, so all the 10 has been assigned, but it has not updated yet. So I will close it and open it again. So you see, so this particular window don't update with the variables. We have to reopen it. So all the values have been changed. Okay, so that was about our first part for today's video for the NumPy. So as you see, with the help of NumPy, we can create different kind of arrays, and there are several other functions which are available within the NumPy, which can be used to manipulate that kind of arrays. Okay, so let's say if I type np.arrange 1 comma 10 comma 0.1, so this function generate the values from 1 to 10 at a difference of 0.1. So you can look at it, right? Similarly, okay, so as we will progress further in the tutorial videos, we will be discussing more about the different kind of different available functions within the NumPy. Now we will jump to our next topic for today, and that is Matplotlib, right? So let's talk about Matplotlib here. Okay, so Matplotlib is a library through which we can create plots. Okay, it is used to create plots within the Python. So when I say plotting means, so this is the kind of work we wanted. Let's say we wanted to create any graph like this, or we wanted to plot any polynomial equations like this. For example, x square plus 4x plus 10. Okay, so if I ask you plot this curve, then how you are going to plot it? That's what we are going to see in today's session. So let's take this example: y equals to x square plus 4x plus 10. Now you will see that for this, if it is if you remember from your elementary school, if you want to plot this particular equation, then on x-axis x value will be there, and then on y-axis y value will be there. Then what will be the second step? The second step will be, we will create a different set of x values, okay, at which we want to compute the y. So let's say I take -10, -5, 0, 1, 5 and 10. So these values I have taken. Now I will put these values here: 0, -5, -10, then 1, then 5 and then 10. And then what we'll do, we will put the individual value of x in this particular equation, and then we will compute the values of y, right? So let's say we get some values here. So like, we are not going to spend time on calculation. These are pretty easy, you can do it. So let's say, for example, these values got like this, okay, somewhat like this, because it is a parabola, so it should be like this. So if we, and then we will select all those values, and then it creates a plot, right? So the same way we are going to do in the Python as well. So when we say how to create the graph of this plot, so first step, to generate the values of x for which we want to make a plot, and then we will compute this mathematical equation in Python, and then we will plot it. Okay, so now let's do it with the help of programming. So you can think of it as example. So our question, plotting will be x square plus 10x plus 20. Okay, okay, now let's go to the Python. Okay, so within Python we'll create a file, and then first of all we'll write explanation of it, like this file generates the plot of a polynomial. Okay, so obviously, because we will be doing with the help of arrays, so first of all we're importing numpy as np, and then we will importing another file, that is import matplotlib.pyplot as plt. Okay, so this is the package which we are going to use for plotting the graphs. Okay, now we will generate the values of x. Okay, so we'll use this function as we discussed, np.range. So what we'll do, in order to create a more graph, we will plot the graph from -10 to 10, and then we'll generate the values at a difference of 0.1. Okay, so let's do that. So a equals to np.range -10 is the starting point to 10 at a difference of 0.1. Okay, that's cool. And then we will, okay, let's make it x. Okay, now we will write our expression here. So y equals to, it was x square. So if we remember it correctly, let's say a equals to 5 and b equals to a square, then yeah, it's wrong. It is b equals to a, yeah, 20. So double asterisk sign we have to use. So s square plus, we will have to x square plus 10x plus 20. So x square plus 10 into x plus 20. Okay, so let's try to run it. Okay, all the values are here, y values. Now we want to plot it. Close, and then here. Okay, okay, now let's do it. uh, hmm. Okay, now in order to plot, there's a simple command, like we just have to type plt dot plot, then x comma y. Okay, x, whatever values you want to put on x-axis, and the y, whatever values you want to put on the y-axis. Now let's run it. Okay, so you got a plot here. Here, this is the graph. So sometimes if you try it once, you will get this graph embedded in this screen somewhere here. So if you want to make it as a separate window, you have to go to tools, then preferences. Okay, let me open this one. Go to tools and then preferences. This window will open up, and within this window there will be editor IPython console. and there will be like compile, decide what type of completion to use, graphics, and then if you go to graphics, you can put backend to automatic. Okay, you have to change this to automatic, then the graph or the plot will put as a separate window on a separate. Okay. Okay, coming back to the Python. Okay, the plot was not visible to you. Okay, so it is visible here. So this is the plot which we have created. Now let's say if I run this file again, right? So you will see the curve has changed. Why? Because it is not like the I changed the curve. It is like the earlier graph is also plotted on the same window. Okay, so I have to close it. So what the best practice is to close the previously opened graph as soon as you run the program. Okay, so in order to do that, we type the command plt.close and then we type the argument all. So it closes all the graphs which we have been plotted earlier and then create a new graph. Okay. Now there is a sometimes it may be possible that graph doesn't appear. So there is another command plt.show which is generally used to display the graph. Okay, so you can use anything. Okay, let's run it. Okay, the graph is there. Now we want to label this x-axis, y-axis and the title, because it doesn't look like something we don't know just by looking at it what exactly it is representing. So let's say if we want to put some x label, we'll type plt.x label and then you can type the name. We can type values of x here and then plt.y label. You can type the amplitude, because generally the y-axis represented the amplitude, so we can say the y. Okay, and then if we want to put the title there, so plt.title, you can put like polynomial equation, polynomial plot. Okay, now let's run it. Okay, and now if you look at the graph, you'll see polynomial plot, values of x and then amplitude. Okay, now let's try to make a grid over there, because my graph looks pretty with the help of a grids. So we will type plt.grid and yeah, that's sufficient. Yeah, grid will appear here. Okay. Okay, now there are several other things as well which we can do with the help of this one. Okay. Okay, so now we will try to change the color of it so that we can plot the graph in a different color. So let's say if I type R here, and okay, graph is not okay, you just type R here, so it indicates the red color. So now graph has come in a red color. Similarly, there are several other options. Say you can try it. You want to change the line width of it, so you just have to mention that particular thing in here. So red color comma line, okay, line width equals to 2. Okay, and the line width will become the 2 point. Now you can go to the official website of this Matplotlib, and here you can find there are several options which are available and which you can use for a different kind of plotting. For example, if I type like this green o sign, so we will use with R. Okay, so let's say R O minus minus. Okay, it was O minus 1. So it indicates the symbols. So let's see. Okay, so because our sample size is very large, so these are not visible to you. So let's say if we go a little bit zoom, you will see like the sample has been represented by this symbol O or round symbol, and the line has been replaced with the help of this dotted line. Okay, so let's say if represents the symbol, then you will see a dotted line. Yes. Okay, So there are several different combination which you can try, and all those information you can find its official website here. Okay, so that was a plot command. Similarly to the plot, there are several other commands available within this Python as well, like stem plot. So if I type plt.stem, then let's see. Okay, there is an unexpected keyword line width. Let's change it. Let's save it. Okay, so you see these are the stem commands. Like it gives. Okay, let's make a difference at 1. It will be better. Yeah. So through this stem command, you got this kind of the line plots here. So these are the sample values, these blue dots, and then those blue dots have been connected to the x-axis with the help of these straight lines. And these straight lines, the kind of straight line you want to use, you can change with the help of this one. Okay, so this was the plot, how to use this Matplotlib library in order to plot different kind of plots. There are a lot to discuss within this Plotlib, like how to plot multiple plots, or how to create more than one plot on the same graph, or how to use subplot commands within it, how to put the legend there. So there are a lot to discuss in it. So we will be covering all this part in the upcoming live sessions, and we will suggest you to stay updated through our YouTube channel. And it will be better if you subscribe, then you will be remain updated for the upcoming videos or upcoming live session. So we will be discussing a lot more about the scientific computation and the simulation with the help of the Python in our upcoming tutorial videos. So I hope that's that the video was an introductory part for the Numpy and the Matplotlib, and we have discussed all those things. So it's time to conclude the today's session. So we will meet in our upcoming live session in future. Okay, so stay updated, stay safe, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Finally, we also do freelance projects and industrial project based on data science, Python, machine learning, embedded system, etc. So if you have any such requirement, then you can let us know by contacting us through our website, which is www.jcbrolabs.org, or you can also send us a mail, info@jcbrolabs.org. So that's it for this